The same ingenuity and radical thinking that we experienced in the realms of health and consciousness, we also encountered in the world of energy. The inventors who claimed they had engineered devices that could provide limitless, clean energy described their work with the same terms as the healers and shamans: vibration, frequency, resonance, all characteristics of interacting with the unified field.
By looking at mathematics and music and art and science, physics, as all part of one continuum of awareness and understanding, we can tackle the big problems.
Understanding the musical and mathematical nature of the cosmos opens up a whole new way of thinking. A great example of this is an unlikely inventor that we found deep in the jungles of Costa Rica, Hart Akerson.
The way I learned to think was with music. So when you're thinking in musical terms, you're thinking in another structure, and that structure could open up other doors that are not accessible through verbal or word-based communication. The core issue of our whole civilization, the core reason for non-sustainability, comes from centralization. They have centralized education, centralized control of language, centralized dictionaries, centralized government, centralized religion, and centralized energy. You turn on a light switch in your house, you click the switch, the light comes on. What really happened? What really happened is maybe 100 miles away, there's a large generator producing enough electricity for hundreds of thousands of houses. It comes out of that generator and gets transmitted with wires at probably 100,000 volts. Then it goes into your house, through your breaker box, through the meter that the grid company has there, and goes through your switch, which has just completed the circuit, so that it can go through your light bulb and make the light come on. That requires an enormous amount of maintenance and capital expense to do that. So now we're contrasting it to a house that has a transverter solar system. That means in the utility room, there's some electronic boxes with transverter stuff in them, and there's some batteries, and the roof, there's some solar panels, and you also have a connection to the grid. So when you throw that switch, it completes the circuit, but it comes right from the transverter. But it immediately has access to the energy from its batteries, the solar panels, the grid, and maybe your next door neighbor. The grid's importance all of a sudden has been demoted. It's just one of many possible sources.
We discovered that there are three main categories in the field of energy that we need to solve as a species. One of them is generation of energy, how we get it. Another is transmission of energy, how to get it from one place to another. And the third one is integration of energy, how to get it into the existing grid. Hart's work is the best example we've found in the area of integration. His technology takes solar, wind, geothermal, or these various so-called free energy technologies and adapts them to homes or to local grids with what he calls the Hart Transverter.
The reason I got the Transverter system installed was because the power here fluctuates quite a bit, and there's a lot of power outages as well. And also having the energy security, knowing that, even when the power grid went out, we always had our essential electricity was running. Now we run 2 houses with a number of refrigerators, a pool pump, fans, even air conditioning. But we have a power purchase agreement as well, so any excess power we get credit for. So our electricity bills now run at about $10 a month. Which is just the rental for the meter. So there aren't really any bills.
It's a microgrid node, so it's capable of sharing with its neighbors, and its neighbors can cluster together in larger microgrids and share with other clusters. So you're doing it from the bottom up. Your core thing is the individual home, and it can work up to where you support an entire civilization. It's kind of like a fractal. You've got a group at the home, you've got a bigger cluster of these, and it could cover the whole city of Boston, it could cover the whole United States. It could do our whole planet.
We can't move from where we are today to 100% renewable energy with the grid system that we have. Renewable energy fluctuates too much, so it collapses and affects the grid in a negative way. Now, Hart has created something where we can actually transition from where we are today to 100% renewable energy without negatively affecting the power grid. And just knowing that we're part of that movement has been quite profound for me.
We got to come up with solutions that we can implement, like yesterday.
One of the principles of the field is that it's infinitely dispersed. Decentralization is aligned with that principle.